Every once in a while, my friends, every once in a while, we have somebody who has tried other things before to make money online. Sometimes they've searched months, sometimes they've searched years. Rarely do we have somebody who's tried other things before they found legendary marketer. Yeah, right. Come on, we can all relate to that, for God's sakes, can't we? This morning, we have somebody who has searched for years to make money from home and in her own business. And it seems like, at least from what she's told us, that she finally found the answer. We'll hear it directly from her. Kate, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Nobody can relate on this show who's either sitting in this chair or listening to trying other things before and them not really working out. So I'd like to welcome you as our very first guest who's ever had that going on in your life.
Well, thank you so much. I feel so honored to be the only one, really.
The only one. Yes, the only one. So, yes, welcome to the club. You're in the right place. There are many entrepreneurs. Some call us wantrepreneurs, right? Because we want to be entrepreneurs. But it takes the right timing in some cases. It takes the right opportunity. So we'll hear about what has made this time here at Legendary, I assume. I'm also assuming what you've been looking for, or at least something that's finally worked for you. So give us a little bit of the backstory.
So I've been a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. And back in March 2020, when the pandemic hit, we thought 2 weeks and had a great time. Well, I got unexpectedly pregnant with my third. And then I was like, oh, well, now we really got to figure something out. So my husband was like, just get on TikTok. It's fun. It's funny videos. And I was like, no, that's for like teenagers. So I ended up getting on it and, found some girl talking about all the money she was making with affiliate marketing. I had never heard of affiliate marketing. Like, it's been around for how long? And I've never, ever heard of it. So I watched people make money, like a lot of people on here. I watched people make money. And I think with TikTok, it's amazing because you're watching real time. And so you're seeing every day, like, okay, they're making steps and they're progressing and you're still in the same spot. So like, are you going to do something or are you just going to keep watching them do it? I bought the 15-day business builder challenge in April. And I didn't actually make my first TikTok or take action until August. So that's a regret.
Yeah, April. Let's rub that in a little bit. April, May, June, July, August, 4 months. You know what? Look, we all think we're unique, but you're not the only one. So, but that's a regret. Okay, so you said it, you have it, and what's happened since? Did you say August?
So I started posting like once a day through August, like kind of, here and there. And my husband, once again, was like, you need to be posting more every day. And I was like, whatever. And
this guy really beats the drum, huh?
Yeah. He's a teacher. So he likes to do teachery, lessons.
Nice. Hubby. What's his name?
Wes.
All right, Wes.
Yeah. So I actually, one of my videos went crazy Labor Day weekend. And that's when I started like, okay. And I started ever since then posting consistently and trying to help people, to be honest. Like, I just remember being where everybody else is and needing that one video that was motivating, like no one's coming to do this for you. Like, step up and do it. You're just not going to get anywhere.
Do you believe when it comes to creating content and marketing, you're only one video away from really kind of your business taking off?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Because that was what did it for me. I realized, oh my gosh, I can actually reach people and people want to hear what I have to say. And, I get feedback now sometimes where people are like, I really needed to hear that today. Thank you so much. And that's huge for me. Like, I
Mhm.
love talking to people and helping people. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I want to be a counselor.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
this
in
whole,
a sense, you kind of are like you're counseling people. I mean, counseling people has different, counselor is such a broad term. So of course, there's many different lanes that you can go to, but ultimately, you're helping people, um, end or lower their suffering and find peace, and give hope, you know,
give hope.
offer tools, offer experience. And in a sense, of course, we don't want to label ourselves that if we're not, licensed and qualified and all that. I
Right.
mean, we could get in big trouble. But in a
Mhm.
sense, I've always looked at marketing as I'm doing the one thing that I actually can transfer to people, which is I can give them hope. All the other things a human being has to actually develop on their own, they have to get on their own. Hope's the one thing that you don't have to work for to kind of get, right? Like
Absolutely.
the listener,
Yes.
you have to work to go develop copywriting skills or work to develop organization skills or those type, but hope is the one thing that you don't have to, you can just sit there and listen and I can give it to you.
Yep. And I can choose to take it or not take it. And that's a choice. That's
Yeah.
what's amazing. That's what drew me to your program is honestly the motivation and hope for another direction. It doesn't have to be this one way. It was an incredible message for me.
Mm.
I really grasped it, and I took and I ran with it. I mean,
And you
it
had
changed.
never heard anything like that before. It changed everything for you.
Yeah, it changed everything for me. I've known all, like I knew all these things had to change, but honestly, I never thought about passive income and multiple streams of income. Like I feel ridiculous. I've been through college. I've been through all of it. Like I feel
Mm.
ridiculous for not even considering that for myself, you know? I don't know.
And
This
now
just
what?
this and now I have multiple streams of income and I'm starting an affiliate marketing in my own way with parenting. I have a lot of experience with kids and parents, um, and I think I have a lot to offer in that aspect in the digital world.
Mm.
Advice. Parents always need advice. Kids are crazy.
Mm. Wow, that's amazing. That's
So
amazing. So that's the vision and direction that you've taken your business is to serve other parents.
yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
you think about, like, oh, a blog takes forever to set up or a website or whatever. Well, this isn't a sprint, it is a marathon. So the fact that I was given the tools to figure out how to actually start that process was
Mm.
incredible for me. Like I just didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to even go about, starting that. So this whole entire process has been eye-opening.
So you needed that start, that both the high level dynamics, and but you also needed the mechanics. And is that what you found as you were going through even initially the challenge? Give
Yes,
us some aha
absolutely.
moments.
Yeah, the aha moments were, okay, that's how you you get somebody to the point of trusting you and then they're listening to you and they're going on your recommendations because you've now created a path for them to see it unfold. And I didn't know how you went from A to B online to show people that, and I do think too, TikTok has been in a huge, I mean, it's been a huge way to really get people to listen um, real time. So,
Yeah.
those two things combined, I think were just what I needed, you know.
Mm. Have you tuned in and listened to other people? Like how much, I know you're a busy mom, which is the busiest job in the world. Have you had time also to kind of tune into the community and listen to other stories? And if so, how has that been a part of your journey?
I try to tune in when I can. 10 a.m. is playground outside. We're doing that kind of stuff. So what I'll do a lot of times is I'll just put it on my phone. I'll listen. And it's incredible to me how many regular people have found your program and been successful with changing their lives in this way. And I take from it that these are regular people. They have regular jobs, or they are stay-at-home moms, and they're trying to figure out how to not pay for daycare. Daycare is like 2 mortgage payments. It's crazy. And so I think for moms a lot, there's this, okay, do I go out and get the job and my whole entire paycheck goes towards daycare and I'm missing out on that time with my kids? Or do we bite the bullet and go down to one income home and struggle? And it doesn't have to be that way. I'm seeing now that it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fantastic.
So thank you for that.
Well, thanks for taking the info and running with it and coming back and telling us how it applies in the real world in your in your life, because that's what completes this whole thing. If I was just ranting and raving, and everybody was listening, but nobody was applying, it'd all be none of it would be as powerful. It's like a marriage. It's like a relationship. It takes 2 people, one who's speaking and teaching and sharing, and one who's listening and applying. So yeah, this is really amazing. And I think this is such a big deal for your speaking in such plain language today, up to people's real life problems. I saw yesterday a post by somebody who is a friend of mine, and that's what hurts. And he's like, does anybody pay a living wage? And people were like, well, this place is hiring and this place is hiring. And he's like, that's they don't pay enough money for me to be able to survive, basically. And I just thought, damn, because in America here, we've also had massive, the cost of living, inflation has gone up 6%
with no raises.
Yeah, inflation is something that's like a natural phenomenon that takes off, and there's just getting the government to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour is literally like pulling teeth. But who wants? I mean, yeah, it's like, who wants to be in that position, right? It's like, who wants to be there, and so I had mixed feelings when I saw this guy's post, because here he was, and I felt empathy for him, and I felt terrible for him, because I know he's got children. And on the other hand, I said that we have a choice and I just thought about why I started as an entrepreneur. Yeah. Like I don't get into that preachy anymore. I used to when I was young and I had less empathy. I was just dumber, honestly. And I was like, you gotta be an entrepreneur if you want to live. You just pound the table. But I mean, the truth is that everybody's not cut out for this. Everybody's in it. Mostly it's like mentally, it's not physically.
Yes, it's
like
all mindset.
Yeah, it's like being a parent. You know what I mean? It's like,
I
wonder if I'm cut out for that mentally. You know what I mean? But I'm working on it.
Yep. That's an unfolding thing every day. That's like what's gonna happen today? We're gonna find out.
Right, exactly. Sometimes my motto is just keep the kids alive.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, we survived today. That's a big thing. It's a big thing. Yeah, I have 2 under 2, and my second is I don't know if it's seriously a second child thing. I never thought it was, but man, he fits the mold. He is wild. And I also was like, I started making TikToks about the ER visits. How am I going to pay for ER visits? They're going to happen with 3 boys. Someone's going to break an arm. And I've got to figure out a way to pay for this stuff. So.
My son, I've got an 11-month-old. He likes to ride around in this little kind of like cart, it's because it gives him more freedom. He can like stand up in it
Mhm.
as he's being pushed. Well, anyways, he's never fallen out of it while we were moving. But the other day we were standing still, and he just reaches over to get something and literally just topples right over, and
Seconds.
boom,
Yep.
hits his head. And I'm talking about it left a mark.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's terrifying as a parent because you had moments like that where you're like, well, how did that happen? Like, what?
Yeah.
I never have. I know. I
Well,
know.
and we were contemplating taking him to the emergency room, you
Yeah,
know,
I know. You
and
do.
going back to your comment about how am I going to pay for that? I mean, thankfully today because of this business, it's
Mhm.
that's not a concern, but I can remember as if it was yesterday when it was.
Right.
And when one medical bill would wipe our entire family out. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Would damn near we'd have to decide, do we want to have a home or do we want to pay this medical bill? And I think we can all relate to robbing Peter to pay Paul, shuffling around bills. Like, how
Oh,
long
yeah.
can I get away with not paying this one so I
Absolutely.
can pay the electric bill?
Yep. And you know what? I have friends of parents that are in their 60s that are still doing that. And I said to myself, I don't want to be in my 60s still doing that. I don't. I don't want to do that. But
Yeah.
the only way you're gonna change that is if you dive into something and you make it work. Like, I don't know. Like, I went to college. I got my psychology degree, right? I think the first 2 years of college were like incredible for the experience because I was out on my own. I got to party and hang out, and it
Mhm.
was a great experience. But then all of a sudden they're like, "What do you want to do with your life?" And you're like, "But you didn't really talk to me about that the first year I was there." And I didn't realize that, I really need my master's to do what I want to do with this degree. And then babies happened and life
Yeah.
happens. And, it's just, it adds up. And I'm paying on student loans that I've
Right.
not gotten that return on.
Yeah,
So,
and we're so quick to call like some course online a scam. And I don't mean you or me, but like
oh, I did.
society, you know,
I never,
society.
yeah, but like I was skeptical. I
Yeah,
mean, if you're not skeptical, I think that you might be too naive. You should have a little bit
sure.
of skepticism, but you have to do your own research and based on the research you do, either decide you're going to try it out and go for it, or you're going to continue to think things are a scam and not progress.
But we go into college because it's been pounded in us for since we were a little kid with zero skepticism, right?
Yeah, that's so
Nobody.
true.
I feel like there's a little bit of like maybe more than a little bit, of like yeah, just like manipulation, and it's like a systemic problem. Because there are some people who need to go to college, and in your case, to work with people, and if you end up ever being a therapist now that you're doing this, which
Yeah,
who knows,
yeah,
but yeah, to work with people's emotions and their hearts and their trauma, or work on somebody's physical body, there are things that, yes, I would like you to have like 8 to 12 years of college,
for sure,
practice and shit like that.
absolutely.
But like for every single kid coming out of high school, and there
Yep.
are kids who literally feel shame, like they
Oh
feel
yeah,
shame because they don't go to college or because they
absolutely.
didn't get a scholarship or whatever, in
I'm from
so
North
many.
Carolina. Okay, so we have Duke, UNC, and NC State. When you go to high school around here, where are you going to college is the question. It's not are you. So I get that. But
Yeah, and
mhm,
now how do we transition to this place now? When is the
I
world
don't
gonna
know.
catch up,
Yeah.
Because it's such a, in my opinion, it's such a broken system. We need to be talking to kids, as the kids are already finding this out, quite frankly, nowadays. I don't even it's probably gonna be a natural just evolution,
Yeah.
because kids already know you can make money online and build a business
I just
online and become a
I
YouTuber
literally
and stuff.
I just talked to a 20-year-old this weekend, and I'd never met her before. We just started talking, and she brought up e-commerce and all these other things, and that's already out there for that age group.
Yeah,
Like they're already
us
they're in
old folks
college.
don't need to do anything. Like I
Mhm.
know it's not going to be some 86-year-old senator who's going to come and you're
No.
right. It's a natural evolution that's
Yeah.
just going to happen.
Yeah. They're already seeing it. I know 1920, they're in college and they're making this money while they're in college. Like they're not bartending. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're
They're in their dorms, like flipping sneakers or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have a kid down the street. He's in college now, but he found a product. He's been pushing the product and he's making, I mean, it's crazy. He's crazy. He did it in his dorm room.
We're looking at him as we're like spending our last money on diapers. Like, what the fuck is this kid doing?
Honestly, can we talk about diapers and formula, please? Oh my God. It's like another mortgage.
I know. And let's just not. I just am happy that I have, some money coming in, and have saved a lot of money from this business and all that, because
that's the biggest goal for me.
It's expensive as shit to just live the American dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have kids in a house without a picket fence. You know what I mean? And it's only getting more expensive. It's only getting homes here. Yeah. Just think about this, folks. Homes here where I live, a single family, like 2-bedroom, 1-bath, or 3-2, like if you want to, really, really live it up, we're talking, it used to be 200-ish, 250. It is now $400 to $450. Yep. Like that is a starter home now. And there's a lot of people who believe that it's not going back. So, I mean, it's kind of like the price keeps going up. And it's like we can either sit around and complain about how prices are going up and think it's a bubble and wait for it to come back down, or we can roll the dice because this may be the new bottom. You know what I mean? Like this may be the new bottom for us to live the American dream. And the longer that you wait to get that income cranking and build that business that is that cash cow for you, the longer you're rolling the dice on potentially not being able to buy that home and start that family or grow your family, if that's the position you're in. And then we can talk about all the other fact of luxury items and all this.
Well, how about keeping and maintaining? Like now you've got the house, now you've got the kids, but now you have to maintain it. Like
it never ends, right? It never ends.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. When your AC breaks down or you need a new car or whatever, right? It's like
this happened.
Yes. No, I know. And we live in Florida. When this AC goes out down here, it's hell. It's actual hell. Like the devil.
North Carolina can be the same.
Hi.
It's the humidity. Oh God, it's awful.
So how have you, and you seem like I can imagine that it's not been incredibly difficult, but that's my assumption for you. Talk to us about some of the challenges and about how you found comfort in creating content. How have you become comfortable with it, or are you not comfortable with it yet?
So I've gotten more comfortable. It's like kind of riding a bike. Like once you do it a bunch of times, it becomes second nature a little bit. So the content making has actually come a lot easier. But it took me a full month to get used to like I overanalyzed every video had to be perfect, and now it's just like people just want to hear your message. So, make it fun. The most difficult thing for me was getting over the technical stuff, and it's once you do it, like the funnel building and the emails auto responding, once you do it, you're like, God, I really did not need to make that much of a big deal about this. I just needed to give it the time, right? I would go in and I would start and I would be like, nah, I'll work on it tomorrow. And instead of just sitting down and doing it. Right. So that's one thing I wanted to get across is like, I think that my business changed too once I actually created my email sequence and set that up. Right. I didn't do that for a while. I actually just put my funnel out. And so that's the biggest advice I kept telling myself, like, you're not going to be successful with this until you go the full route. You got to set this up. You got to do it. And so once I did that, it also became more personal too. when I started getting emails from people, I was actually starting to help them, right? Because they had access to me now that wasn't just TikTok. It was, we're emailing now and I have a problem with this. And I would say, oh, I had that same problem. This is what I did to fix it, or this is what I did. The beauty about this business is there's so many everyone's at different levels, right? And it just depends on where you want to go with it, how much time you have to put into it, how much time you want to put into it. And so for me, it's just been like a slow build up until it became like, let's go. And now I'm like cranking. Now I'm like,
You said a lot of important things, but a couple that I heard that I just want to hit on are I didn't really, it really didn't take off until I kind of took ownership and just said, hey, I'm going to personalize this to me. Right. Because until you do that, I feel like you just have like this cookie cutter thing that's just like the business in a box, how there's some assholes out there who want to sell up. Here's your business in a box, and you get it, and it's literally just, it's not yours. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not yours, right? And it's nice to use templates, but to write and put your own spin or spiel or personality or some of your story in there is literally when you both feel more ownership over it, but also it begins to take off because people identify it, feels more personal, feels more real, right?
Absolutely.
It's not just the generic, me too, I've seen this before. It's the, wow, this is this person's personal story. They're more interesting. And it's not because of their personality or whatever, like somebody who's thinking, well, I'm a B-type person. Right. No, it's like when somebody reads an email and they start getting stuff that's more personalized to you, it just feels different. And I think when we talk about on this show over and over again, you hear students and clients here saying, well, you got to I just decided to be more real. Well, I think this is a practical example of that. It's not just how I'm showing up on video or whatever, but it's also taking that ownership and just
behind the scenes
doing the best you can, right? I mean, I assume, Kate, you're not considering yourself at this point a world-class copywriter.
God,
right?
No.
But
No.
you took a stab at it and probably were like, wow, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? The only thing I can do from here is keep working on it and keep building it and keep getting better. That's it. I've started, right? When you start, you have a baseline, you have a foundation. So now there's no going before that. It's just going forward.
Yeah.
And I think that people just want to relate a lot. Yeah. And when you and there's so many different ways to relate to people. Like I don't have a construction background. I have no idea what that work is like. But I know my toddler having a tantrum when my baby is screaming and how hard that can be. So like people just want to relate. And I think and I actually posted a video about this the other day. People that are on here doing this are making it's real. These are real results because they're putting the work in. Just find the person you relate with and go with them. Don't skip around to a bunch of things. Stick with what's proven and what you like and you can relate to.
Yeah, follow less people for inspiration, right? I mean, is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I think you get confused when you're watching all these different people and you're watching all these different even business models, right? Because there's different business models. When you decide that you're going to go with the one, stick with the one and then follow one or two people that are doing well, like don't get overwhelmed with all the opinions from so many other things. So I think can mess you up.
God, this is everything. I mean, I actually think what you just said, there's been so many things in this episode that are powerful, and I'm glad people are hearing you say, but what you just said has so much power and importance. Okay. And let me give you an example of how this applies to my life. I have just as many options to follow people and to get into things as anybody else. Okay. And with all of the newest, hottest trends, like what cryptocurrency is doing, these new NFTs, all these new stock trading bots, and all this kind of stuff that's come out, there's just as many get rich quick gimmicks, and even get rich quick, maybe get rich quick opportunities and things that come across my desktop every single day, just as everybody else. And interesting people to follow in terms of workout, fitness, interesting
Yep.
people to follow in terms of, right? It's so easy to hit that
Yep.
follow button, and it's so hard to hit that unfollow button.
Mhm.
But I have, for example, in the area of streams of income, I have two ways in which I invest my money. I invest in real estate, and I invest in the
Mhm.
stock market. I
Mhm.
have some other things that I do to kind of hold money, like maybe
Right.
buy some watches or whatever. I buy the right ones so they hold their value. But my investment strategy is very simple. Um, I don't own a single piece of crypto. I don't own a single NFT. I don't own any of this new stuff or do any of this new age stuff that's coming out that would require me to kind of start my learning curve all over again,
Right.
and invest tons of time and probably even
And
lose
money.
money to learn that thing.
Mhm. Yep.
Why? Even though I see people all the time saying, "Oh, crap, Bitcoin and Shiba coin and Dogecoin's going
It's
to the
everywhere.
moon," or
Mhm.
NFTs, these little, I just made 200,000 on a JPEG, like all that stuff.
Tempting.
I even though I see it, I ignore it all.
Yep.
Why? Well, some people might be saying, well, you could make money off of that, Dave. Why wouldn't you make money in anything that you possibly can? Because of focus, because I understand that there's always more to the game than what initially meets the eye. And I understand if I want to become good, I want to become an expert, I want to make real money at that, I need to really invest time. Now, some of you guys know that I like wristwatches. I have spent an incredible amount of time learning which ones hold their value and which ones don't. But that's kind of a hobby for me. You
Hobby.
know what I
Yep.
mean? It's not
Yep.
really a business. I'm not in that to make money. But my point is every single thing that you do is going to require work and time. And for me, I have the blinders on. Some of the things that I do is I unfollow people. I unfollow people on Instagram. I unfollow people on Facebook. I unfollowed people through 2020 to the tune of thousands of people on my personal Facebook page, because I go on there because we have Facebook groups and stuff. I unfollowed people to the tune of thousands because I didn't want to slosh through all their bullshit to be
Mhm.
able to get to a post from a friend that I like to hear
Right.
from, or to get to one of my groups, right? I unfollow people on Instagram. I don't have a big following. Like TikTok, I'm personally am not this is my content strategy right here. It's doing the
Mhm.
show every day. So I'm not on there constantly. Now, Matt does, our CMO, he's researching, we do run ads on there. But my point is what you just said about focusing and only following a couple of people, fitness, okay? I'm interested in one fitness guy right now who's been inspirational to me and who has this kind of ancestral approach to like
Mhm.
diet and workout. And that's interesting to me,
And it works for
versus
you.
all
Yeah.
the gym rats that I could
Yes.
be following who have, they're posting their workouts and stuff. Look, that shit gets overwhelming because before
Mhm.
you know it, I've got 15 or 20 different guys saved and their workouts saved in my thing. And it's just, where do I even start?
And then you shut down because now
Totally.
you're overwhelmed
Yeah.
and I don't even know where to go because I've gotten all these different opinions and all these different, strategies instead of just saying, okay, I like this and I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have more ideas than you realize, and I'm speaking to everybody, just within your head already, in via the training that you've already gone through. Like a lot of us, we wake up, like, if anything, what if you think that you need to follow a bunch of people and be taking in tons of information every day because that's giving you ideas, look, just from now on, just start jotting down ideas. Like whenever you have a video idea for TikTok or something, jot it down.
That's what I
And
do.
what you'll real and here's the other cool thing, Kate. Keep a notepad and a pen. Now it's old
Mhm.
fashioned, or a
I
notepad on your
do. I
phone.
do that though.
And every time you're thinking or doing something, write down that idea. And you say you do that?
I do that. I do. I have a little pink notebook that is my affiliate marketing notebook. And I've had it from the very beginning, and I've started using it for, okay, these are 3 ideas that I want to get out today or tomorrow, whatever. I draft a lot of videos, and then the content behind them I've already written out. And I am old school. Like,
Nice.
my husband's constantly like, would you use your phone for your calendar? And I'm like, I need a real calendar. Like, I need to like write it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that strategy works for me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you've aside from your parenting goals and visions and doing work inside of the parenting niche, you also have a make money online
Yes,
uh,
I do.
niche, and we've given everybody your TikTok handle so they can go and like follow you, find you, connect with you, support you.
Awesome.
Listen, you've got the busiest job in the world. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
It's
you for
been
having me. I
fun. It's
watched
been
y'all. Y'all are very
incredible.
motivational. So I really appreciate you having me and continuing to do this. I watch this, and I think a lot of people really do, and it sends an amazing message, and it keeps you motivated. So thank you.
Well, you know what the biggest secret that I have is? It keeps me motivated. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that's the interesting kind of, I don't know what you would call it. Is it a dichotomy? Is it irony?
Mhm.
Is it what, whatever it is? I'm a ninth grade dropout. I fumble with big words sometimes, but my point is that, a lot of times we're waiting for somebody else to help us in our business. Like, oh, I need that special mentor. And it's like, the best way that I've learned to help or to get help is to help others,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
I learned that in recovery, right? I was like,
Yes.
how does this recovery thing work? Like, how do I stay sober back in 2008?
Yeah.
One of my sponsors or I can't remember who, like so many people say this. I've heard it all over, but they were like, go find somebody to help. Stop making it all about you, Dave.
Yeah.
Right? Stop needing
Basically.
somebody to always help you. And you know what? Because it's never going to be enough. Go find somebody to help,
Mhm.
and your world will open up. You know what
People
I
say
mean?
that, right? And you're like, okay. But then once you start doing it, you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
get it. I get
Yeah.
it. Even with starting affiliate marketing, like I'm helping people. I'm not a genius at this. I'm a beginner. And I'm finding that while helping others, it is helping me to help others better, right?
Yeah.
Because like I'm getting feedback from people. That was really helpful. Good. Good to know. Thank you for letting me know. You know,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. That's huge. Yeah,
We'll tell Wes we said hello as well.
I will.
And
He's watching the children right now, so
he's
I might not go
awesome.
back for a while.
I know, right? Still on the show? Yes, honey.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's been 3 hours. I know. We're really
We're
going
just
a long
having.
time. It's crazy.
It's
We're on break
amazing.
right now. We're on intermission right now. No, my wife and I do that a lot. Like, just sometimes you find that little break just in the bathroom. You're like hiding. My mom, my wife's like, "Are you still in?" I'm like, "Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
This one's. Oh, it's hard. It's painful, right?" And I'm
Mine, I get home from the grocery store and I
answering
sit in the
emails.
car for a while. That's my thing. I sit in the car. It took me a little longer to, get through the store.
There's so much comedy. I love the parenting niche because there's so much comedy. There's so many things people can relate to. And if
Yeah.
you're willing to be honest as shit, like
Yes.
about it, oh my God. Oh my
I
God.
have so many stories. I have so many stories.
If I wasn't doing like this and had to focus, I would absolutely be in the parenting niche.
Yes.
I have a wife who's like amazing, right? And I would
Mhm.
probably have her as like the main star. I call
Yes.
her Mother Earth because you moms just kind of intuitively know what to
Yep.
do, and I would probably have the kids would be probably missing limbs or something by now
Oh
if
yeah.
I was in charge. But
Yeah, my
yeah,
husband says that too all the time.
that niche. So anyways, good luck with it
Yeah.
all. Let me know how we can help, and
No, I
come
really
back and
appreciate
keep us
everything.
posted every couple of months on your journey if you would,
Awesome.
because I enjoy talking to you.
Well, thank you so much. It was really nice talking with you guys, and thank you for having me. This is amazing.
All
So
right.
thanks for everything.
All right. Stay legendary. See ya.
So
All right, my friends. Fun conversation. Great person. Definitely, right? That diamond's starting to shine, but she's a diamond in the rough that's going to grow and grow and grow. And it'll be fun to watch her journey, be a part of it, support her, learn from her. Remember, I say this every day. How do we support each other? Well, it's not that hard, right? And you get out of like the universe or whatever you want to, however hocus who you want to get, but I believe you get back what you put out, right? So go and support and share. How do we support each other? We like each other's stuff. We comment on each other's stuff. We, we connect. We send somebody a message that's not always like, hey, how can you help me? But hey, that video, your content's really rocking. Keep up the good work, right? I mean, those are the things that I would encourage you folks of how to support each other. It just will raise your vibrations, man. You know what I mean? It'll raise the level of attraction that you have, right? That attractor factor about you. So once again, Kate, fantastic message, great conversation. Give her a follow, show her some support. And yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. Get out of here. Peace.